The account balances for the period ending August 31st. Petty cash accounts, $117. Randolph Brooks Federal Credit Union accounts, $215,796. Security Service Federal Credit Union accounts, $80,410. The Techstar National Bank insured investors account is $27,569. The savings TD for seized funds, $211. Regular checking account, $44,197. The savings account, $37,587. A certificate of deposit, $151,865. Tax pool funds, $150,875. For total checking and savings account balances, $708,626. There's a detail of every check written and every deposit made to each account attached to your report. There's also the profit and loss for the month of August.
Okay, thank you. In municipal court report, please.
Okay, for the month of August, we had 170 citations issued. Out of those, there were a total of 296 violations. Those that were just paid and completed were 78. Those that were voided, not prosecuted, or dismissed by the judge were 21. Cases that were disposed of by taking either a driving safety course, getting deferred disposition, or a compliance dismissal were 71, for a total completed of 170. We have one warrant cleared, and our upcoming court dates are September 18th and September 25th.
Thank you very much. Police department, please.
Hello, everyone. Busy month. The officers encountered a situation where they had to have 99 reports this month, so they're busy. The covered two stolen vehicles. One of those, a pursuit situation where 5 individuals got out and took the brush. Just recently, this week, I think we've identified everybody that was in the car and were able to initiate violent charges against them. The enhanced enforcement program is really continuing to do its job. Resulted in keeping individuals who don't want to get a driver's license or to maintain their insurance. A lot of these individuals are the same individuals that do a lot of our drug violations in town. In one instance here recently, individual decided we caught him after a stop of this nature. He decided he was going to run on foot. Officer Martinez and Officer Batiste and Gonzalez were able to chase him down. And then Officer Martinez came in, Sergeant Martinez came in and assisted in the investigation afterwards. And I'll let him tell you what the guy told him after they were interviewing him. They were trying to get him to cooperate in setting up another investigation related to drugs. And I'll let him tell you what the guy said, which made us feel good that we're doing our job.
Hello, good evening. So yes, the chief is correct. On numerous occasions, we are dealing with individuals that are in our city with continued drug problems. In this instance, this individual did run from me. I've been looking for him for some time, and we have now caught him. So basically, he agreed to work with our department in order to purchase narcotics, getting an individual to bring him into the city. And at one point, he was able to set all that up. And unfortunately, things didn't pan out the way they were supposed to, but he did make a statement that the individual was afraid to come into our city. They wanted to do the actual buy outside of China Grove because apparently the city of China Grove has their stuff together, if you will. So anyways, we do have things under wrap right now with that individual, and we're still doing ongoing investigation. With the previous call, he was talking about the individuals that we identified and the current one right now. So we are hard at work.
Thank you so much. Good job, boys. Okay, the volunteer fire department, please.
Good evening. Hope everybody's doing well. All right, China Grove Fire and Rescue Monthly Run Report, August 2019. We ran a total of 34 calls for the month, which is up from what we've been doing. Of that, we broke it down into areas. Structure fires, we did 4. Those were all mutual aid assist calls. Grass brush fires, 1. That was also mutual aid. Unauthorized burns, 3. 1 in the county area, and 2 mutual aid. Activated fire alarms, 4 of them. 2 in the city of China Grove, 2 mutual aid calls. Assist the public was 1 in the city of China Grove. EMS calls, we did 20. 13 in the city of China Grove and 7 in the county area. Kitty and transports, 13. 6 from the city of China Grove and 7 from the county area. Broken down into areas for 34 calls. 16 took place in the city of China Grove, 8 in the county, and 10, those were mutual aid. It wasn't too long ago that it just showed you the progression of our city, that the city of China Grove calls were always the lowest that I reported on. And now for 6 to 8 months, it's actually been the city of China Grove is where we're running more calls now than mutual aid and in the county areas. And like before, it was always the lowest, but now that just tells you, I guess they call it progress.
Just out of curiosity, out of the 34, 20 of them all the EMS calls, which I know you guys do an excellent job on EMS.
Thank you.
But, yes, I know that. But are they like repeat customers, or are they different?
We do have our, what we call frequent flyers, okay? But majority of them are people that, maybe sometime in the past we've dealt with them and we're dealing with now, but we really don't have that problem too much anymore. We did when we used to go up Grigsby a little bit further. We had some real frequent flyers over there, and but not so much now. It's I guess more spread out, different people and different type of illnesses and sicknesses and things like that.
Okay.
Are many of those calls heat related, or?
We've had a few of the heat related, not too many of them. We've had a few out in the county area, but not too many in the city. More, I think in the city, you get difficulty breathing, chest pains. We had a gentleman who fell and fractured his leg here last weekend. He was trimming trees up in the tree and fell out of it. Got to be real careful about that. We've had in the past where they were up there with a chainsaw and fell out of a tree, and the chainsaw fell on top of him and did a lot of damage to his leg. So got to be careful. Also, burn ban is in effect. We are not allowing any burning at all. We actually, and this is how the Lord works in mysterious ways, we were on the call, the assistant RPD with the chaser on. We just cleared it, came back to do the report, and got popped for a brush grass fire over on Carilla. And it's the area that has just been purchased recently, and it's 267 acres of coastal. And when we got there, there was an acre on fire, and it was spreading real quickly. But because we were here, we got there within 4 minutes. We were able to suppress it and deal with it, and it really did no further damage than 1 acre. But it's just kind of eerie to look out there and see 267 acres of coastal and a lot of very nice homes in the general vicinity there that if it would have really got running, it could have did some damage. And the whole field is just brittle ground, and just, you know, it's fuel for fire, so things are very dangerous out there right now. So we ask everybody, like I said, we're not allowing burning, there is a burn ban. Please don't take it upon yourself. If I don't answer your call or text, that does not mean yes, okay? That means keep trying until you get an answer. But right now, like I said, because of the burn ban, we're not allowing it at all.
Totally understand that. Thank you so much for the report.
You're welcome.
Okay, now animal control and code compliance.
Good evening, I'm Officer Rosales. The month of August, had high grass, three violations, brush pile, 0, trash, 2, junk van vehicle, 0, animals at large, animal calls. We had total for the month 3, recovered 3 dogs or 2 dogs, and then one dead carcass that included on that. But August the 5th, issued a citation to the Dead Plus Hardware business for violation of city ordinance, trash ordinance. And August 7th, recovered a female mixed shepherd at the 7619 Triple Bend. Took it over to the China Grove vet and was adopted out, I think the following day. And August 19th, issued another citation to a resident here at 3114 Triple Meadow for violation of city ordinance, trash ordinance. And August 27th, recovered another female shepherd mix, just right here across the street, 2400 block of F5016. And that was turned over to the rightful owner the next day. And August the 28th, that's when the animal called the dead carcass that somebody dumped their carcass here on the FM1516 by Gopher Hill, and they wrapped it in a sheet and just dumped it. I contacted Texas out to pick them up, but they haven't done so it's still there right now. And that was it for the month of August.
All right, thank you very much. All right. Now, we have any citizens that want to be heard this day that's not already on the agenda? Okay. Next, we need to open it up for the public hearing regarding the 2019-2020 fiscal year proposed budget. Anybody want to speak on that situation? Okay. So,
State the time it is now for the public hearing to open.
no, I'm sorry, at 7:18. And the public hearing was opened and, wait a minute, say 7:19, it's closed. Okay. Wait, 1 second. Okay. So the first action item that we're going to discuss is to consider the action of ordinance 190905-1, adopting the fiscal year 2019-2020 budget. You guys have a copy of that budget, I believe, in the packet here. Basically, yeah, okay.
You have a copy of the proposed budget, and then there's the ordinance number 1. And that's
Okay, yeah, I'm trying to find the post of
this one.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. Okay. Just as a very quick recap, in case there's any questions. We are estimating the proposed 2019-2020 budget to be a total income of $734,135. And the total general operating expenses should be $336,121. The police department will be $267,860. Municipal court is $79,400. And we will allocate $200,000 towards the street maintenance project for this upcoming fiscal year. And hopefully that will get us almost done. So, having said that, I will need a motion to accept or amend that. Just accept it? Oh, do I need to read the whole thing?
Adopt the ordinance.
I'm sorry, I need a motion to adopt ordinance 19090501.
You're good.
Okay.
Can you read the title, Mayor?
This one,
No.
read the
Number
title.
one.
Okay, an ordinance approving and adopting a budget for operating the municipal government of the city of China Grove for the fiscal year beginning October 1, 2019, and ending on September 30, 2020. Appropriating money for the various funds and purposes of such budget, including appropriations of money to pay interest and principal, sinking funds requirements on all indebtedness, providing a savings and severability clause, repealing all ordinances and appropriations in conflict with the provisions of this ordinance, and establishing an effective date. Is that good enough?
Yes, all the
Okay.
titles have to be read.
Yes.
And then,
Okay, so,
I move we adopt such stated ordinance.
okay,
I'll second it.
all right. We have to have a roll call on this proposal, so, Frank, how do you vote?
Yes. Accept it.
Okay, Dennis?
Aye.
Okay, Larry? Margie?
yes.
Okay, it has been duly approved for the adoption of the ordinance 190905-1. Okay, so that takes care of that. Now, we have to consider action on ordinance 190905-2 to ratify the property tax increase reflected in the 2019-2020 budget as required by the local government code section 102.007. And this ordinance is, this is from here, right?
It's number
Number
two.
two. Okay,
Number two, and read the title.
just the title, okay. An ordinance of the City Council of the City of China Grove, Texas, ratifying the property tax increase reflected in the fiscal year 2019-2020 budget.
I make a motion that we approve ordinance number 190905-2, adopting the increase in taxes as specified.
I'll second.
All right. Again, we have to have a voice vote, so Frank?
I accept 190505-2.
Dennis?
Aye.
Larry?
Yes.
Margie?
Yes.
Ordinance 190905-2 has been duly approved and voted upon. Now, consider action on ordinance 190905-3. Adopting the 2019 tax rate for the maintenance and operations and the debt service for the fiscal year 2019-2020.
Did you read number three?
I haven't yet, I'm getting ready to.
Okay.
An ordinance of the City of China Grove, Texas, adopting a tax rate and levying a tax upon all property subject to taxation within the City of China Grove, Texas, for the 2019-2020 fiscal year, for the use and support of the municipal government of the City of China Grove, for the fiscal year beginning October 1, 2019, and ending on September 30, 2020. Apportioning said levy among the various funds and items for which revenue must be raised, including providing monies to pay principal and interest on certificates of obligation, providing when taxes shall become due, and when same shall become delinquent, and establishing an effective rate. And whoever makes that motion must make it effective exactly as this says here.
I'll make a motion that we accept,
Margie?
to adopt an ordinance.
It has to be read.
Okay,
That's just that way. Mhm.
I move that the property tax rate be increased by the adoption of a tax rate of 0.129000, which is effectively a 7.3% increase in the tax rate.
Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Okay. you vote?
Yes.
Dennis?
Aye.
Larry?
Yes.
Margie?
Yes.
Okay, so ordinance 190905-3 has been properly motioned and seconded and approved. Okay. Next, we have the consider the action on the request for fast response rentals located at 6825 US 87 East, Building C, to amend permitted activity and expand their operation. Fast response transportation, authorizing issue of a conditional use permit. And it was tabled from last month. Would you guys like to? Yeah, here. Oh, okay, I'm sorry. Okay. As you know, the fire marshal and I and the building inspector went over there just as a, see what it was like before we got too involved here. And I'm a little confused as to just exactly, I looked in you seem to be using several different names, and I'm not sure who's really responsible for the company, and I'm not real excited about how this is all going down right now. So could you give us a little more background as to, it's an LLC, but are you Fast Response Rentals LLC? Are you Fast Response Transportation LLC? Are you both? What's going on?
We are, right now, at the moment, this is who we are. We've been 4 different businesses. We shut down our transportation division. We no longer haul. We are just a maintenance facility.
Okay.
And we have just the 2 buildings there. There's other, what is the other people, Mountain? There's other people that are in the facility there. It's not just us only. There's 2 other people there.
We have Lone Star Title Loan, and then trying to think of the term.
Holy Gunite and On-Site Fuels.
Yeah, on-site fuels.
Well, I wasn't so concerned about who else. I was just worried about who you were.
Yeah, that's our legal name. That's who we are.
Okay, well, when I Googled the Secretary of State, they say you're not registered. So I'm a little, we're registered, I don't know why they're saying you're not registered, but that's what I'm like, looking at something about.
No.
And so, well, I guess the other thing is,
It's under Fast Response Logistics LLC, is where Fast Response Transportation comes up with the address at US Highway 87.
That's correct.
Okay, so Fast Response Logistics LLC is asking for the permit.
Yes.
That's what we're getting at.
That's who we are.
And who is the owners of Fast Response Logistics?
Myself and Fabian Corpus.
Okay,
okay,
They belong to his father. Is there a Carlos Corpus owner? That belonged to my partner's father before the business, and we took it over. Should have been Carlos Corpus. He was the original owner, and then myself and Fabian Corpus took it over.
well, because I have no vote on this, but I'm just concerned that I want to know who's legally responsible for this, because it's, when we walked in, there was some violations on, like the paint, spray paint booth that you're using that isn't up to code and things like that, which I realize that's not your building, but.
Well, what we're trying to do is to get approved to stay here and purchase it from them. And Keiko, I'm pretty sure y'all are familiar with Keiko's spray booth we're wearing. He's gonna build me a booth there. But I don't wanna put $300,000 and I get told to leave.
Yeah.
Chuck is a great guy. He told me, Robert, I want to build you one right now, and I actually have one. I've put about $180,000 down to get it built, sitting there, and I'm scared to put it up. And it's going to cost me $100,000 to get put up. So I'm like,
Well,
up in the air.
Yeah, well, like I said, I realized that we were supposed to be in all, and Dennis was willing to go too. And I guess like I said, my concern as mayor of the city is like, we've been getting more and more promises that we're gonna do this, and promises we're gonna do that. And I'm kind of getting a little frustrated that the promises never come true. So and I know the fire marshal definitely is interested in some basic repairs that need to be done immediately.
That's
in order to make
why
it-
I have no problem spending money on the facility because we want to purchase it. But I just need to know if it will be okay with you guys. I'll sink $500,000 next week into the property. But I'm not gonna do it if I don't get approved to stay there, you know. Robert and Larry, we're gonna do an owner finance with them. We're pretty much gonna give them $700,000-800,000 down and make monthly payments to them. But I'm not gonna go throw all my hard-earned money away. You know, I'm not a rich man, got a few $1 million in the bank that I've worked really hard for, and I wanna find a place to call home, and you know, that's what I'm trying to do here. But, you know, for starters, we do little fender paint here, fender there, you know, small jobs. I'm not gonna put $300,000 for a spray booth to do small little jobs. If I'm approved to, you know, be there and call it home, I have no problem at all, you know. I have a few customers that will give me bukus of work as soon as I have that booth up. But I'm just kind of scared to put it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a lot of money that I'll have to put up, put down, and move it, and
Yeah. Well, I mean, the council's the one that votes, so do you guys have, I mean, what kind of questions do you have, or what kind of concerns do you think we should look at?
Fire chief has some questions, and raise his hand.
No, I'm sorry.
I really don't have any questions. What I do want to say is, you know, what I'm seeing, what I'm hearing is he's trying to put kind of the onus on the city council. I can't say how they're going to vote, sir, but I don't foresee it being a problem. What we're trying to do is, you know, make sure that if you do come in here, that you are going to adhere and follow all the ordinances and codes, but you're saying that. But what the mayor's saying is, we're finding, you know, things that aren't making sense. We want to have a good business relationship with you, and it starts with honesty and being upfront about everything, because we're dealing with safety of people that come in and will be doing business with you, people that will be coming in the city of China Grove, my firefighters, the police department, anybody that goes over there. It's about keeping everybody safe. And again, that starts with being honest about everything and being upfront and with everything.
Well, Mike, did you give him a report or something of some?
This is the first time I've seen him.
I was here last month.
No, I mean, since then, we went by there and did, and
Okay, you did inspection, I mean, there's gonna be some kind of procedure in
Well,
place for you to.
honestly, I don't need to give him a report because he's, you know, doing what he's doing right now is illegal. He's in a building that he shouldn't be in because he doesn't have a permit for it. We just went over there, you know, because he was interested in it, and
The guy's trying to get a permit to do business, he's already been working there.
Yes.
It shouldn't be that hard for him to come in here and first of all, you know, if you do an inspection and there's something wrong, then you fix it, you say you're gonna fix it, and you move on.
well,
Okay?
he's not the
It can be business.
legal resident of that structure because he's in there illegally.
He's the legal
Okay.
resident. He's
So-
the owner.
That's where it starts.
Well, the two, okay, I mean,
Yeah.
it
Well,
isn't-
Yeah, no, I know what you're saying.
It's a
and
shame you couldn't have been there,
it's a
sir,
back and
because
forth
he should leave
situation,
that
yeah.
far.
Yeah,
okay.
well, I think the other
If you say there's
thing,
something wrong and they agree to fix it, then I assume we have some ordinances in place that gives them a certain amount of time to fix it and they're able to continue their business, expand their business.
no,
I think the concern's chief is he started doing his business without a business permit to do that business.
Correct. So it makes it harder to invoke any kind of restrictions or anything on him. He's already doing business. So what we tell him, he can say, yes, I'm going to do it, and not do it. And what recourse do we have? Nothing. So what we are is, we have a safe, it's unsafe to be in there right now because we don't know, we just know from the previous people that were in there, they had a lot of violations. But they told us, well, we're moving out, so we're not going to correct any of them.
We have the permit for building C, which we've been in there. We barely moved in, what, 3 months ago?
3 months ago.
We barely moved in. We've been getting with the owners. These are the property owners. what they wanna do. They wanna sell us the whole property, so we wanna try to permit the whole property, not just building per building.
And, well, and that brings up one of the questions, thing we want to bring up to you, that anything that's there would not be grandfathered under like the house or that, it would all have to be brought up to current code
Yes.
instead of just going along as business as usual. But when you change ownership, it changes the
Yeah,
thing on that.
that's not a problem.
Can't we issue, or make a motion to approve a permit contingent upon compliance with, any code violation?
Realistically, the way it should be is he applies for a permit, when then all the inspection process goes, once we approve everything.
Gentlemen, it
we
doesn't
say,
work this
"You get
way.
your permit."
You bring it up to code, we give you a permit.
That's it.
We don't give you a permit and then hope you do your job. We can't do that.
Yeah, of course,
You know,
I
so-
understand, I'm a businessman, I know exactly how it is, I don't have a problem with this at all. Attorney, he has a problem with my business.
The deal is, you bring it up to code, we have no reason why not to give you a permit.
I
Because
have
you're up
no
to
problem
code.
doing
But
that
until
at
it's
all.
up to code, we can't just be handing out permits and hope you do it.
Yeah,
And that's what the chief is concerned about. It's too easy for us to forget about it because life goes on. Once a month, we go over here. You go on for years working and oh man, I forgot about that company. And all of a sudden, now you're over doing stuff unsafe and illegal. So we request you bring up the permit, let them inspect it, and bring up the code, let them inspect it, then we're done. Get your permit.
We want to work with you, sir.
Exactly.
To make sure that everything is taken care of and everything is, to code, to spec, involved in the ordinances and all that. That's all we're worried about, is making sure everything is safe. I have nothing against your business.
I'm sitting here listening to this discourse back and forth. First of all, and you guys know me, I like to get down to it. I cut to the chase, and I deal with the facts, and nothing mushy, nothing gray. I like to say it's black and white, First question I would have for you is, do you understand what it is you're doing that is not in compliance with our ordinances?
Yes.
You do or you don't?
I do.
You do. Okay, do you understand what it is that has to be corrected?
Yes, I do.
Okay, and how soon can you get that corrected?
If we can come up to some agreements, I'm not gonna spend $300,000.
Well, the agreement is that you follow the ordinance.
Yes, I will.
That's what the agreement is.
Yes, I will.
And bring whatever it is that is not in compliance into compliance. Once that's done, you can report back to us, and then we can say, yes, you're in compliance, here's your permit. And to me, that's cutting to the chase.
Okay.
And none of this mushy stuff back and forth, or this nebulous stuff like Jell-O, you push one here and it goes out the other. It's straightforward. And I think our ordinances are pretty clear as to what it is you need to do. So those things need to be done, and then you come back with the request for the permit, and that's it.
It sounds like we got two different things going on here. We've got an existing business that needs to be in compliance, okay? But then he wants to do a paint booth, which is an investment, which has already had some money invested in, but it's not on site yet.
It's not on site.
So we can't even inspect that, it doesn't exist yet.
But he does have.
But he's got.
But he knows what the
But if he-
specifications are for that.
Agreed, absolutely agreed.
Yes.
But for your existing business, back to his question, do you know what you need to remedy to be in?
Yes, I based Steam does, and then also Lone Star Fire. They take care of my buildings. They say everything's up to code. That it's the way it should be. For the spray booth where I spray small fenders and what have you, is that legal? No, it's not. I'm not gonna, like I said, invest all that money unless I'm approved to be here, and I will do that in a heartbeat. That's not a problem.
Well, there's a couple other little things on the outside, like oil storage.
Yeah, there's a lot of things, since they are a new tenant there's a lot of things, we really haven't done an inspection since they have moved in. We just kind of did a walk around and find out things. As far as the spray booth, it's actually going to be located in another building, which they don't even own, so we can't inspect it. The spray booth's not there, so there's nothing there, they don't even own the building. So we can't do an inspection on
I
that.
think the spray booth is another issue. He knows what he has to do to build it in compliant with code.
But there's no way that he knows what he's in violation of right now because we haven't done an inspection there yet. So
The
how
other
would
thing
you know?
is, if you're bringing up the code, if you say you know what the code is, then you get your permit. It's that simple. It's really cut and dry. I can't let you build a house and then give you a permit for a meter. You need to bring the blueprints here, build a house to code, and we give you the permit for, So you can't just, you have to fix the problem, and you get the permit. It's that simple. Because there's more than one issue, I'm sure. Electrical, plumbing, sewers, whatever. Just, as long as you know the code, bring up the code, then you'll get your permit.
So do I come to you guys here? Who do I report to? Who do I go to?
I'll talk to Susan
Okay.
about the permit, any inspections and stuff. Do we need a third-party inspector? I don't know.
We've contracted with a third party, we just haven't implemented it yet.
We get a third-party inspector, of course, that's part of the permit fee, you pay for that, you get the inspection. You're on code, you'll get the permit. We want you here. We want business.
I'll tell you what, Monday morning, I'll do some homework tomorrow. If you guys wanna bring a third party, I'll bring a third party, we'll get it in. I'll bring all the legal stuff, I'll get it up to. And as for what I'm gonna tell you guys up front right now, I'm gonna take off all the paint stuff. I'm not gonna put my booth, I'm not gonna get it approved until I'm permitted, so I'm not gonna paint there. I'm not gonna put $300,000 out of my hard-earned money, and then you guys do not approve me. So, paint is out of the question right now, it's not gonna be there until you guys approve it, then I'll purchase property from Robert and Larry, and then I will put my money into it.
I think that shows good faith.
Is that okay?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
That's fine.
I have
That's good.
Safety Clean that I actually got on Safety Clean. There are oil, fresh oil and used oil. I gave them a good piece of my mind because they're supposed to, if we spill oil, I pay them monthly to clean up my oil. And I got there the other day and there's splotches everywhere. And I told them, why do I pay you all this money? So me and one of the managers of San Antonio are meeting tomorrow because if my guys make a mess every day, they're supposed to go dig it up and clear it. That's our agreement. So, as far as the oil, what you are saying, that's already taken care of. And they're pretty much gonna get fired for not doing their job, whoever is in charge of my location.
I think if you do fix it, the things that we saw, and after the inspection, I think the council is willing, but, and you can purchase it, and then you can expand the way you want.
We want customers, okay? We want people to move here. We're not trying to scare you away, we just need to keep everything, on an even keel around the city.
Yeah, of course.
I'm one of the owners of the property, and I think that's basically what they're looking for. They don't want to, me and my partner are wanting to sell the property, they're interested in wanting to buy it. They don't want to buy something that they're not wanting here.
Exactly.
And I think y'all kind of clarified that this evening, that, yes, there's some things they need to fix, but, they're not diswanted in the community. So,
once
and I think that's what we're trying to.
Once again, without belaboring the point, I make a motion that we table this until all the deficiencies that exist, that you said you know of, and that you come back and report to us that those have been corrected.
Okay. I'll take care of it.
Thank you, sir. I'll second.
Okay. And all those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, no opposed? Good. Okay, thank you. Yes, we're not trying to be hard, we just gotta do what we need to do.
Not at all. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, next item is consider to request to operate D. Willie's Barbecue at 7393 US Highway 87 East, Mr. Jim's Trading Post. Alfredo Cruz is the owner.
Yes.
Okay.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I am Alfredo Cruz, the owner of Eagle's Barbecue right there. We did with permission to ask to have a permit to operate there. That is our third location. We started just 2 years ago. We started a location at O'Connor and Roosevelt Parkland. We opened our second one on South Dars Memorial Military Drive, and this is our third location right here. It looks like it's already doing very well, and the people are responding extremely well to it. I'm here to answer any questions that you may have.
These are really positive comments about you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
The only one I didn't get is nobody got no free barbecue. No, just kidding. No, I'm just kidding. Just kidding.
I have, this past Saturday, our dinner group went out. We were the big group that was in your place on Saturday. And for the most part, I got very positive responses. So you have a good product.
Thank you, sir, appreciate that.
Now, are you taking the whole trading post, or you just in one
No,
spot?
no, just the restaurant side.
Just the restaurant, okay.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah, Jim's bar is still there.
Oh, okay. I don't get it up to go out and have fun anymore, I don't know.
I know what you mean, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, someday I might get to visit seeing the.
Well, we've done inspection. Inspection over there yet?
I'm sorry?
Have we done restaurant inspection?
No, we were waiting to see if this was approved, and then they were gonna go over there. I think they need to check out some hood or something.
Okay. All right. Anybody have
I
any
think
other questions?
he's aware of it, I think.
No, I'm sorry, yes.
I just had a few, points that I want to address. Why was he operating without a permit?
Yeah, this is what happened, gentlemen. You know, this restaurant's been inspected before by fire chief. I've done personally a bunch of letter work over there that the fire chief has found over the last 4 or 5 months. This gentleman was, asked to look at the facility, and he accepted to sublease it from the gym, was leasing it from Howard Crane Company. The whole building's been inspected several times. Fire chief's been there twice I know of, because the first time we fixed everything, he did a self-inspection, came up with some more, and I did some other stuff. So the building has been inspected.
I think though, Frank, what they did is they didn't inspect the restaurant area because they weren't gonna be using
No,
it.
ma'am, incorrect, because I did a bunch of electric work there that he had turned down. So yes, he's been there.
Well, that's what I was told when
That's fine. I'm
Mr.
just telling
James
you,
was inspected.
because he came up with some more stuff incorrect, then I corrected that. So the restaurant has been inspected. Health inspection, I don't know. I'm just talking about the fire chief. Yeah, go ahead.
If I could just clarify, we really didn't do an inspection on the restaurant because there was no restaurant at the time. It was just
There was no
the bar.
business.
Well, there was no restaurant, but we did do, they do have extinguishers, a lot of things that are within the code or whatever, but there's probably a few other things. One of the biggest things I know is that stove that's in there, whatever, the hood, it needs to be certified because it has to have a chemical agent for extinguishment should it ever flare up or whatever. And we're not sure, but it needs to get certified. That's going to be one of the big ones there. And then, basically we just want to go through it one more time and just make sure that everything that we saw previous is still the same and all that. Because realistically, when a new tenant moves in, it requires an inspection at that time.
Yes, sir, understood. Anytime you like, come on by and I'll do whatever it takes to make sure it's
Well, we
perfect. Being just from the little experience that I have on my other 2 restaurants, I go through and look and I see absolutely nothing that would be in a violation of any kind whatsoever. Mr. Jim and the owner, Audie went through and did everything brand new. There was not one speck of grease. They cleaned out all the vinegar, made sure everything was in 100% operating order. There was nothing that could go wrong on there. We did see a tag on the system for the fire retardant stuff. I can't testify what the tag, I didn't look at what it is, but there is a tag on there. But I will gladly call them tomorrow and have them come back and recertify whatever you like.
Yeah, that's a big point in it. And I know we've been through it before and everything was good. And we're hoping the same thing. It's just that way we can tell everybody we did an inspection, everything was perfect, they're good to go. That way it takes liability off the city and everything else.
And all the firefighters go over there probably 2-3 times a week, so I'm sure none of them reported back they seen anything wrong with it. I think there was about 15 of them in there today alone.
They didn't bring me nothing, so.
Looks like you got 15 people to go get on it.
A couple weeks ago, I was there on a Saturday, I think half of the Vernon Fire Department was there.
Awesome. Leroy, did you have any other comments you want to make?
No, that's it.
Okay, well, so we want to do contingent upon.
I can't vote on it because I did some work over there, so I'm out of the picture.
Susan, did we not discuss this once before when the owner of the building himself came over here and talked about?
We did
So
temporary.
Jim, this is a deja vu or
But he
something.
wasn't gonna use the kitchen. he was gonna use a food truck, and that time, with the time at which he would be using the kitchen, then they would go back and take care of that portion of the building.
Yeah, that's
They
correct.
weren't using the restaurant at all.
Okay.
And you've only really been in business a couple of weeks?
Yes, ma'am, that's it.
Oh, okay.
And most of his cooking, barbecue is not even done there, it's brought
But
up.
they use the heating elements and
Yeah.
things, I think, yeah.
Okay.
Plug in heating elements.
All right, so,
One other thing, Mayor, if I could. I did speak to this gentleman, was it 2 weeks ago? Remember at lunchtime we stopped in there?
Yeah.
Because remember I told you you needed to move your truck? Because there was a huge,
Absolutely.
huge backlog there. And I'll admit, he took care of it right away. He corrected the problem. He doesn't allow people to park there anymore. So, kudos to him. He took care of the problem. And yes, so, because it was a huge, huge problem. Because I told him, because we had vehicles backed up on the highway, people trying to get in, and they were parked over here, and, so, but he took care of it right away, so I'll give him, kudos to that, because he did take care of the problem right away.
Okay.
We appreciate that.
Well, can we authorize a permit for 30 days so he can get his?
Inspection.
Yeah.
Sure.
Whatever you get an inspection on that.
Whatever you guys give them, we'll just follow right through with whatever you need.
okay. So, you wanna make that motion? And-
Yeah, I move that we issue a business permit to D. Willie's Barbecue at 7393 US Highway 87 East in the restaurant part of Jim's Trading Post
Okay,
for, call it 45 days.
okay.
Sure.
I thought you should have said.
No, I don't need any more comments.
Okay, that's fine. Okay, all those in favor?
Did you get a second?
I'm sorry, Larry seconded?
Larry,
Okay. Any opposition? Okay. You approved and you can get with them and if
Thank
everything
you.
comes
Yeah, have a
out.
great night.
Consider action to identify streets to be included in the 2019-2020 street project and authorizing the city engineer to proceed with bidding process on street project 2019-2020. We have a map in the photo. And,
I don't know if I had a map the last time I sent it.
yeah, well, I don't know, but you got this time, so. I think we had talked about, so we had got budgeted about 200,000. Or if we did, well, you guys can say something.
So we ran, so that list that you have probably in front of you with the yellow highlights, and it has a dozen streets on it, I guess. That, the highlighted ones were the ones that we had, like a few months ago, the council said, yeah, we want to do those. And so then I put the proposal together, centered around that package of streets. But Susan earlier, before the meeting started, said that we may want to shift some of these around, or juggle them a little bit, or do, I don't know what kind of budget we've got, maybe we just drop one of these streets. So that's, I don't know sure what y'all's, I thought we had this locked in, but if we have a budget problem, then obviously we have to
Well,
be flexible.
we budgeted 200,000, and we come up with 251, so we're a little bit more on
It's a
that.
$51,000.
Yeah.
Pretty
Not that
serious.
that's totally impossible, but I would hate to say that's not a problem at all. If we, from a practical point of view, if you were going to try to do some, you would want to do get the worst ones done as quick as possible, which is only one small one, and Via Cunha is the only one that's got a red spot.
I have a question for you.
Yeah, that was the worst one.
You wrote down red for worst, right? But Cooper Bend, Cooper Wood, Cooper Metal, all been done.
Well, yeah, this map we did before any of them were done.
Oh, I see that, okay.
So I need to update
Yes,
this.
he said, why did you say?
Sir?
In answer to his question?
Oh, this map was done like,
Yeah, this is an accumulation of all the streets
This is
and
what
what
was
we're.
put together 3 years ago.
yeah, it was in 2014, as a matter of fact. It says. And so what we did back then is that's when we rated all the streets. And, you know, really, we ought to re-rate them every so often, but we
That's all right.
just haven't done that.
I'm a little slow with everybody else.
But I mean, what I need to do is update this, but on the map.
Why are we working from this?
You're using cloud one, Larry, the council voted, he's sectioned off with this cloud around it, and you guys on April 4th voted to take care of the streets within cloud number one, the bigger one. So that's what you should be focused on right now, and the streets are listed on the second page, the estimates.
So all the clouded ones are ones that haven't been done, and the unclouded ones are ones that have been done. Yeah. So there was a meeting I wasn't at, where y'all said, let's look at all the streets in the big cloud, and then we broke it down to these highlighted ones. But now you don't have the budget, so, you know, maybe we need to pull one off there, like Whippoorwill, which really is just that little short. It's kind of expensive because it's real wide, you know?
Okay.
But it's not in very bad shape, and that's almost 50,000 right there.
Well, Mayor, we can approve more than the budget, right?
Yeah, no, we can. I mean, we can shift some of those stuff if we need to, or if more money comes in.
And one thing you can do is that we can put out the thing to bid and have some of the higher quality streets like as an alternate. So once we get the bids, when we see what the pricing looks like, council can say, okay, we'll award the base bid and forego the additive alternate, or we can include the additive alternate and fund both parts, you know. So we've done that. In fact, I think we did that here.
I think we did it before. Okay, well, I mean, I don't have a problem with that, I'm just, and hopefully we will have more money by the end of the year.
Yeah, I do know how your budget worked. I thought you were supplementing some carryover funds.
We can do that too if we really need to.
It's a major investment for.
How bad is Whippoorwill?
I don't remember it being real bad, but it does have some areas that need to be repaired and then resurface it, but I don't think it gets much traffic. It's almost like a parking lot, you know? Yeah, I don't think, I think you could probably just skip that one. You know, it was on there because it's one of the streets we own and operate.
And we don't want to spend money on something that we don't need to spend money on, to hope it will really get out of us.
What about Oma Drive, which is apparently runs into Whippoorwill?
Yeah, I think that's the one that has the houses on it. I don't know if there's any houses on Whippoorwill. I think it's just that old gas station and feed stores.
Yeah, I'm thinking about it.
Mayor, what if we did the top four that are highlighted and then do the other two alternates? Like the alternate.
That would work for the top right, budget wise.
You know, that way, you can see how the budget's going, and then, we'll add it.
Yeah, that's fine with me, I mean, since we can do that alternate.
Is Cellar Lane a private road?
Siler, no,
Yeah.
it's ours.
Pardon?
It's the city's.
Oh, it is, okay, thank you.
Now, Susan did, there's that one road, it's Mac Drive. Is that the one that's so narrow that?
Well, we had left it off anyway, I see, that to not do anything to it yet, but they did have a lot of potholes and stuff, so I got a quote to get it patched. TRL Services to patch it, get the potholes taken care of.
That's about all you can get in there, is a pickup truck. Oh, good there. It's pretty narrow.
Okay.
So it'll be handled separately.
So, you guys want to make a motion for, go ahead and have it proceed with, the top four highlighted areas, and then as alternates, the other two bottom ones, and see how bids come out.
Well, is there a way that we could maybe do Siler, Areola, and Via Acuna both ways, and then, since they're kind of...
Well, Siler's not in the group y'all voted for, just the ones
So-
highlighted in yellow. on this
So we
page.
can't switch them in and out?
Well, I guess you could.
So the top four would be 200,000.
Correct.
Yeah, just slightly under.
The top four highlighted items would be under $200,000.
Yes. But if we added Siler, then that would be 12,000,
Yeah.
13,000.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't be that much, but they would be all together, you might say, that grouping. And then if we took out Oma and Whippoorwill, the two that were highlighted, and maybe do that next grouping of Real, Whippoorwill, and Oma on the next go around, maybe,
I hear with that.
you know, because a couple of them, it says there's needing full depth reclamation. So maybe we could do the lower four the following time.
Okay, so,
So we have about 210,000, 12,000.
so you're talking about, seg 18, 32, 33, 34, and 35.
Uh-huh.
Okay, that's what your motion is. Okay, any discussion on that possibility?
The top four highlighted,
This one, 34, and 35, we're gonna highlight.
35 would be our alternate,
Because it's only
depending on the
12,000.
bids. You know, or go ahead and add it in anyways.
I just put it in barely cracks that 200,000.
Yeah, yeah, no, I'm not worried about it being, just 50,000 over is a little.
As a point of clarification here, is that supposed to be Real Road or Real Street?
Well, we have Real Drive and Real Road, so.
Okay, or Drive or Street?
That's Real Drive.
There's a distinction,
Yeah.
and because when you start talking about Real Road, you're talking about where I live.
I was gonna say, which
Yeah,
one is
Real-
yours?
Real Road is where I live.
Okay.
Real
And
Drive
this
is what it should be.
Real Drive.
It should be Real Drive.
Okay.
Yeah, and I have it down here as Real
Could you
Drive.
just change the name of that one,
Yeah.
let you live on somewhere?
You can always look at it in the post office website, by the way, that's what I do.
Right.
But it's-
I live on Real Road.
Yeah, okay. Well, I knew it's the opposite one, whichever one that is. Okay.
All right.
All right, so I need a motion so we can get going on this.
I'll make a motion that we do the bid process based on segment ID 18, 32, 33, 34, and 35.
You want to put the other two in as alternates?
And alternate of 37 and 40,
Okay.
depending on what the bids are.
I'll second that.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposition? Motion carried. So you have your watching orders to go get busy.
I'm sorry, guys, I didn't catch who seconded it.
Dennis did.
So will that only pay Larry Street? Well, that's only pay Larry Street. Like when you go in, like they have surgery and they make sure they mark the footprints, you know, whatever.
Real quick, how was your trip?
Yeah.
How was your trip out of
To China, I'm alive. Yeah, it was all right. I don't know if I really want to rush back over there.
Okay.
But yeah, it was real hot place, you know, and it's the same weather as here almost, but there was no breeze everywhere we went. No breeze, man. I thought, what the heck, you know? And then all the smog, so I got a sinus infection when I got back.
We can take that off our travel list.
Well, you know, it wouldn't be bad to go. Like they say, Shanghai is real nice, and we were in Beijing and Xi'an, China. So those are kind of like maybe not the best places. But if I go back, I go to Shanghai. That's pretty nice. Maybe I can tell you all some funny stories, but.
Not tonight.
It's been a long day.
Yeah, okay.
Thank you.
I'm glad that, I was like the way when you prayed to keep things quiet around here. I can come off for that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, next on the agenda, consider action to affirm the hiring of Kathy Winfield as the permit officer. In addition, she will also handle the minor public works responsibilities that's involved. Any motion to?
I make a motion that we hire Kathy Winfield.
Can we have discussion?
Oh, sure.
Okay. Discussion is, I really respect this and we need for this to happen, but I would like to have more clout in her job. And what I mean by that is, she can drive around town all day long doing her job. You know, people know who she is. I recommend we get her a vehicle that says China Grove, whatever, on the side, so she represents somebody. A police officer shows up, everybody thinks something's wrong, you know, a cop is here. The city of San Antonio, when their inspectors show up, it says code compliance, it says city inspector, it says nothing. We need something to represent. I don't want to get into bad words, but something to give us strength in our ordinances besides just a cop showing up. You know what I'm saying?
I suggested possibly a magnet to put on her vehicle, and I talked to her about that, and she thought that was
Yes, in a bag.
sufficient.
When she walks
And
up
her
there,
ID is
ID,
ID.
because if somebody walks up there, we don't know who they are.
Yeah.
I just want some clout in with her job.
Why? Oh, I think that's a good idea.
And I agree, go ahead, you go ahead and make a motion.
Okay. Well, I make a motion that we hire Kathy Linfield as permanent officer and a minor public works officer with the intent that, you know, she will have verification on her to show that she has the authority to be there doing the job she's hired for.
And any supplies.
And any supplies, you know, just like a regular city employee would have.
And I'll second it.
Okay. All those in favor?
And a car and a big gun. And I
Not a big gun, please. She might want to have target practice.
Okay. Now we finally come to item H, consider action to affirm hiring of Sherry Pollock as the assistant to the city secretary. You got the floor.
Hello. Just to introduce myself, my name is Sherry Pollock. I live in Floresville. My history was I come from a municipality. I worked for the city of Floresville as the city secretary in some pretty tumultuous years, 2011 through 2014. I started there in 2010 and was moved to city secretary pretty quickly. Went through a lot of knowledge building in that time, and I'm really excited to get back into doing what I enjoy doing. I've been out for a while. My husband and I have a construction company that we do construction, and we actually work with a lot of municipalities, city of Kennedy, the city of St. Hedwig. We've got some pretty good relationships there. And I'm looking to move north because we do a lot of work south, so don't want to be any conflict there. But I'm excited, and I'm ready to come to work and get moving, get some help for Susan over here. I'm excited for that.
And where do you live?
We're in Floresville. So funny story, when I was the city secretary for Floresville, I lived in Atkins, and I drove to Floresville every day. And now I live in Floresville, and I'm driving back out to China Grove. So the drive is not an issue. I did it, and it's no problem. So
But just for the fact that Susan has you here, it's good enough for me. I make a motion that we hire for assistant secretary to Susan.
It's okay, all those in favor say aye. You have it officially.
We'll say Larry.
thank you.
Congratulations.
Susan saying, get to work.
It's like 20 minutes to put together.
Oh, you have plenty of things to say.
I understand. Y'all trying to scare her. Believe me, my 4 years, I'm not scared.
Yeah, hopefully we'll look a little bit more calm.
Yeah, aren't you glad you're not there now?
Oh, yeah, I mean, it was, we'll tell stories one day.
Okay. Next on the agenda is consider action to contribute funds in support of the National Night Out on October 1st, 2019.
How much money do you want me?
As much as you want to give, right? As much as you want to give. I think normally what they'll do, $250.
Contribute about $250 every
Yeah.
year.
Is that enough? I mean, does that cover what the
This
expenses?
is kind of a city end.
Yes, I mean,
How much have we been giving?
250,
250.
but there was
I
never,
make a motion that we give
never any gratuity in
$300
there.
$300 this year for National.
Thank you.
Cost of living, yes.
And it will be on Tuesday, October 1st.
Yeah.
Good. Okay, I'm sorry. You,
I'll second it, yeah.
That's the same.
Motion, second.
okay.
You seconded?
No, Dennis seconded. Dennis seconded.
Larry made it in a second.
All those in favor?
When you get a CPA to donate money, we're in good shape.
Like I said, the Lord works in mysterious ways.
Next is to
Thank you.
consider, you're very welcome. You always do a great job. Consider action on the request to operate Team A motors at 7259 Highway 87 East to sell go-karts, ATVs, and dirt bikes.
And he called yesterday and said he would not be here, but he's already on the agenda, so
Okay.
he said,
So we need to have a separate permit for these when he's been selling
well,
cars?
he's a different entity.
Oh, he's a different entity, okay, I'm sorry. That's what was confusing me.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
what
So we just table it?
well, he's not here, he didn't withdraw, he just said he'd be here next. And I think probably since,
Well, I guess the question is, do we have any questions of him, or do we?
right,
Yeah, but I have one
that's why
question.
he needs to
Go
come.
back to square one. We need to inspect the facility that he's gonna have public going into, before he gets the permit.
Do
You know, we don't want to give him a permit, and then he goes to have 50,000 people in that little bitty house over there.
Yeah.
So we're back to square one. If the chief's willing to inspect it before next month, he comes in next month and it's already been inspected, we're doing what we said we wanted to do. That's what I'm saying.
No,
I don't want to express myself very politically correct.
You get the point across.
Thank you.
Okay, so we can, you
Okay,
want to
I'll
make
make
a
a
motion?
motion at the table until next month.
And
After the inspection?
After the inspection.
Yeah.
Yeah, very good. I'll make a motion, we table it until next month, and in the meantime, inspect it.
Okay.
So chief's willing to do it. And our whole compliance lady, whatever.
So you made the motion, Frank?
Yes, ma'am.
And Larry seconded.
Yeah.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Excellent. Okay. Next, we're gonna go into an executive session for a little bit, as authorized by Texas Government Code 551.072, deliberation about real property. We are adjourning the regular meeting we are suspending the regular meeting at 8:11 p.m.